Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. Whale sends 89,999,980 XRP to Coinbase as top Bitcoin and Ethereum holders move 500 million in crypto. And the way it's made out in this article is that it's an individual moving a massive quantity of XRP, citing that the wallet address is anonymous. So wait till I share with you some of the specifics here. And mind you, this is against a backdrop of broader crypto adoption, which is significant for anybody in the crypto space here. And so, yes, certainly the whales are getting all splishy splashy. They are aquatic AF. This is an undeniable scientific fact. But look at this from Cointelegraph. OCC's Brian Brooks testifies to the importance of crypto before U.S. Senate. You guys remember who Brian Brooks is, right? If not, don't worry. I will tell you right now. This is an individual. He actually used to work at Coinbase, and he cited in a video clip, which I've shared twice on this channel now, how, I love this too. He didn't cite XRP, and so fully going to acknowledge that, but he described how cryptocurrencies can be used as bridge currencies to move money across the planet exactly in the way that XRP can be used. And he was making a point about how just, people say, okay, so what is the utility of cryptocurrency? Like, what can you do with it? And he said the simplest answer makes the most sense right now. He said that is the killer app. That was a quote from him. It is the killer app. And he's talking about a cryptocurrency used to make all of this happen. And I've been saying for the longest damn time, and it's so funny to me, maybe interesting would be a more precise word, that the first use case ever proposed for a cryptocurrency was what Satoshi Nakamoto proposed Bitcoin be used for as a peer-to-peer cash system. And it's funny, that may be the last or among the last use cases ever broadly adopted, if it ever happens. And I suspect it will to some degree, but it might be among the last because it's not solving a major problem today, whereas what Ripple is doing right now is the first major usage of a cryptocurrency to solve a real problem. And even at that, there are only a handful of quarters open. I get that, but that just speaks to the nascency of the entire asset class here. So to me, all of this is rather exciting. But before we go any further, if you would please ever so delicately tap the like button, I would definitely appreciate the support. And also, if you're a fan of getting to the bottom of what's happening with these splishy, splashy, aquatic AF whales, go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambeau channel, because why the hell not? I want to be clear, I don't have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. Take that to heart, because I'm just some dude on the internet. That's that. You don't even know if I'm wearing pants right now. And I'm not. I'm wearing shorts. See, there you go. Get your mind out of the gutter. All right, so into this piece. A massive trove of the fourth largest cryptocurrency is suddenly on the move, with an anonymous whale transferring tens of millions of dollars worth of XRP. An anonymous high-rolling entity just shifted 89,999,980 XRP worth $22.5 million for a fee of just $5.04. Now, I have to tell you, that's actually a higher fee than what I was expecting because, frankly, fees typically for a single XRP transaction are just fractions of a penny. But regardless, here is the transaction on your screen right now. Now, according to Whale Alert, the owner moved the funds from a Coinbase wallet to another wallet owned by the same crypto exchange. A Whale Alert is designed to filter out cold storage transactions from crypto exchanges, which indicates that the whale is likely an investor moving funds in the exchange either for storage purposes or to trade the asset on the open market. Well, you know what? That's a lot of XRP to keep on exchange right there. So if that's only like a little bit of their wealth and they're not scared, who is this person? If it is indeed a person right there. Oh my God, that's absolutely freaking massive. And so if for anyone that's confused, since they cited that's a Coinbase wallet, but then they also went on to cite that they're filtering out XRP that is owned by Coinbase. These would be shared wallets, and so if you've ever purchased XRP on exchange, you may have noticed that there's typically a separate field for a destination tag, which is basically, for lack of a better term, a little sub-address for individuals. And so when you've got your XRP on exchange, the destination tag signifies your little sub-address and how much XRP you have within that, but your XRP is actually in a shared address, which is an interesting, fun little fact. But, the positive to that, one of the positives anyway, is that you can move all of your XRP off exchange. Since other people's XRP is there, it's still meeting that 20 XRP reserve, which is a nice little bonus. Take a look at this piece from Cointelegraph. OCC's Brian Brooks testifies to the importance of crypto before U.S. Senate. The acting comptroller of the currency presented the growing role of crypto in general and stablecoins in particular to the Senate today. As part of his statement to the U.S. Senate Committee on Banking, Housing and Urban Affairs, acting comptroller of the currency Brian Brooks prepared a whole section on crypto assets, including specific mention of stablecoins. And so that's one of the things that I've also found interesting when there's this argument about, what if the government just bans crypto, this and that? Have you ever considered the fact that a lot of individuals that hold cryptocurrency are in government and would not themselves want that to happen? Like, it's not just people. I don't know if you have this vision where it's just like a bunch of low-level people on the retail side owning crypto, but if any of that rings true, I encourage you to think through that again. One of my favorite examples of this, while not an example of government adoption specifically, but individual adoption at a higher level, MicroStrategy, which I've been talking about a fair bit on this channel lately, they purchased $425 billion worth of Bitcoin specifically. And in going through the thought process, when the CEO proposed that they consider purchasing Bitcoin, turns out that about half of the board members were already personally holders of Bitcoin and some other cryptocurrencies. And so if you think that some of these people will not also end up in government, you've got another thing coming. And if you think that they're going to want to outlaw their own crypto, especially as time passes, holy hell no, I don't believe that for a moment. But here's a quote. Today, roughly 60 million Americans own some type of cryptocurrency, with a total market cap of nearly $430 billion. These figures clearly illustrate that this payment mechanism is now firmly entrenched in the financial mainstream. Cryptocurrency has become a popular mechanism for sending and receiving payments for goods and services because transactions post in real time and provide convenience and security. Yes, indeed, Mr. Brooks, truer words have never been spoken. Now, Brooks also mentioned people becoming accustomed to crypto as seen in stablecoin usage. The government leader subsequently recapped major crypto-related moves by the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, or OCC for short, throughout 2020. The office gave federally chartered banks approval to custody crypto in July, clarifying uncertain regulation. And that's definitely, in my humble opinion, some of the biggest news that we saw this year. Crypto clearly is not going away. If that is the picture not sufficiently being painted for you. Now, if you're new to crypto, keep on doing your search and go on down that rabbit hole, but there are so many reasons it makes sense for crypto to be here. And then for us as XRP holders, because of course this is indeed an XRP-centric channel, all of this is always going to be exciting, but additionally, when you're talking about a cryptocurrency that's solving a real-world problem, a couple things to consider. First of all, if it's functionally useful, might humans recognize this as it continually, increasingly becomes useful? Might they recognize that? And if so, if the answer to that is yes, and if that does come to pass, then might it deserve to have perpetual staying power and thus an open market price? What I'm talking about is long-term viability. To me, the firm answer is yes. XRP, so long as it continues to be adopted, is not going away. And from a regulatory perspective, do you really think the government's going to try and get rid of XRP, which is just about the only cryptocurrency that's functionally being used for anything today? I'm going to guess no. But in late September, the OCC provided further clarity on digital asset custody in relation to stablecoin reserves. And here's another quote. The agency continues to consider other issues relevant to cryptocurrency assets and distributed ledger technology, including the application of the technology to support payments services conducted within the federal banking system, Brooks concluded. Regulatory intervention has increased globally in 2020, seen in enforcement action as well as government clarity. Well, I don't care if there's more intervention as long as it results in thoughtful government regulations. Like, intervene all you want. I just want to know what the rules are, just like everybody else wants to know what the rules are. Now, at least for someone like me, sitting here in the United States, I know that I'm allowed to hold cryptocurrency at least, which is more than you could say like 11 or 12 years ago. Is this going to be taken from us? Is this going to be deemed something to be illegal? Well, at least we're not in those times anymore, so there's always progress. And how about this one? Now, this one I love. It's a cool headline even on its own, but if you dig a little further, it's actually an even bigger deal in terms of the type of activity this could spur. And again, this is all happening. And never forget, we were here first while everybody else is figuring this all out after us. So here's the headline from the Daily Hodl. Billionaire investor Stanley Druckenmiller says he owns Bitcoin. Believes top crypto asset has more upside potential than gold. Well, gosh darn it, you know what? I do too. Gold, more or less, whatever you think about gold, and I'm not saying I hate gold or anything like that, it's in terms of an opportunity for asymmetrical gains, not compared to what crypto can do. That's for damn sure. Well, at least in my opinion. Billionaire and famed money manager Stanley Druckenmiller says he has warmed up to Bitcoin and now owns the crypto asset. Druckenmiller tells CNBC's The Exchange that he's predicting a steady decline in the value of the US dollar in the next few years as he expects inflation to rear its ugly head. And here's a quote. When you look at the extraordinary measures taken by the Fed and the fact that they're monetizing the debt, I think it's a high probability that we get inflation in the next 5 or 6 years, starting maybe in a year or two. Particularly with the vaccine, now the economy could run very hot. At the same time, all the stimulus is in the pipeline. At the same time, we have challenged supply chains between the United States and China. Now, Kelly Evans, the host of The Exchange, noted Druckenmiller's interest in Bitcoin when she introduced him. The billionaire emphasizes that his interest in the cryptocurrency is only moderate compared to gold. With regard to gold and Bitcoin, you've kind of overstated in your introduction my enthusiasm for Bitcoin. I do own a tiny bit of it, but I own a lot more gold. Gold is a 5,000-year-old brand as a go-to asset in terms of inflation. And that's why, despite that being said, there's a reason I said what I just a moment ago what I said in terms of why this matters, which I will be circling back to. Just give it a minute. But Druckenmiller, however, does note that Bitcoin could potentially have more upside than the precious metal. Here's another quote. Having said that, I'm a bit of a dinosaur, but I have warmed up to the fact that Bitcoin could be an asset class that has a lot of attraction as a store of value to both millennials and the new West Coast money. As you know, they've got a lot of it. It's been around for 13 years, and with each passing day, it picks up more of its stabilization as a brand. So I own many, many more times gold than I own Bitcoin, but frankly, if the gold bet works, the Bitcoin bet will probably work better because it's thinner and more illiquid and has a lot more beta to it. Yeah, and so even for people that are starting to come around, even for people that are firmly on board, frankly, to me, I'm not ever going to squawk at anybody for having only a small percentage of their overall net worth invested in crypto. That's why many people are saying anywhere from 1% to 5% typically makes sense. And so, I'm not going to really share what mine is personally, but what I will say, whatever you think is right for you, just go for it. Just get help from an actual financial advisor that is educated on this and move forward with this. But check out this now. Real Vision CEO and co-founder Raoul Pal says on Twitter that news of Druckenmiller's investment is huge for Bitcoin. And here's the actual tweet from Raoul Pal, and he said this to his 269,400 followers. I like this guy. He said, the significance of the world's greatest and most respected money manager, Stan Druckenmiller, saying just now that he is long Bitcoin cannot be overstated. That has removed every obstacle for any hedge fund or endowment to invest. And so there you go. Sentiments actually matter. When you get somebody with that kind of weight in that world saying, yeah, Bitcoin, and it could outperform Bitcoin even if I hold more gold, so what? Okay, that's fine. Even if it's a small percentage, that small percentage of your portfolio, if you're right, and I suspect that Mr. Druckenmiller is right, it's going to outperform every other type of asset that he owns in any sort of asset class. It's going to dwarf it in terms of percentage gains. And to me, that's something that's rather significant here. So how about that? And here we are, again, like I said, before everybody else got into this. Do you understand the amount of money that is going to flow into this space? I don't know what the number's going to be, but it's going to be freaking absurd. If you could just fast forward like 5 or 10 years, I can only imagine. And I'm going to be here. As long as there's interest from the general public, I will keep running this damn YouTube channel, which, by the way, is the best channel on all of the YouTubes. That's a scientific fact. But that is the end for this video. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything, because of anything that I say or write, that will be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!